Welcome everybody to our energy talk and energy meditation. My name is Jona Bryndis, and you guys are joining here from all over the world, different places on this planet, which is always a big pleasure to bring people together here, talking about current energies and then taking the time to actually go into this meditative place that we all long for. There are a few comments that I would like to pick up on, and they have to do with physical conditions. They have to do with some described as a heart flutter, something that makes them feel like almost they are having a heart attack, or some kind of pressure on the chest. So this is important for you guys, and any one of you who knows someone who is dealing with this. Obviously we have corona long haul symptoms that can sometimes feel that way, and we have this severe pressure on the chest since December 19. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that this isn't just something that befalls energetically sensitives. It used to. Okay, it used to be something that I would frequently discuss with people, that what it actually is. Today I want to offer you that energetic perspective, so that when you experience it, or when you talk to someone who experiences it, that you can calm down better, because you know what it is. From an energetic perspective, the time that we are in right now, and I sometimes formulate this as collective task. So when I say the time that we are in, it means it's something that we all kind of have to work with. We all have to deal with things. And there's obvious things that are coming in from the outside, such as political issues, planetary issues, issues with the financial system, issues. I mean, all this talk about transformation and all this talk about change is now becoming reality. So many of us experiencing this in ways maybe not directly affecting them. Let's say if you haven't lost your job, if you, if your kids are older, or if you have a school that is still doing school, or doing school again, or if you live in a part of the world where COVID wasn't really or isn't really that big of a deal, then you might not know what it actually is that energetically dominates this planet right now. And in the last couple of weeks, I've mentioned this, how this is coming into the foreground. So when I offer the energetic perspective, I'm literally giving you a heads up. What is that is coming into the foreground? It's the confrontation with a core fear. And a core fear, guys, is more than just, the fear of losing your job, or the fear of not having enough money for paying your rent. These are also, or can be, core fears. Obviously, these are big issues in our life. But a core fear in this energetic sense is more than that. It is something that feels like as if your core sense of self is being attacked, or is being restricted. And that has an extremely important meaning. There is a seriousness to this, guys. Those of you who've been following me for the last 10 years know how serious I am about this, because I've been talking about this over and over and over again, where our sense for who we are and why we're here is being limited. So if I was a politician, I would call this, your freedom is being stolen from you. But I'm not a politician. I'm not interested in politics. They come and go. I'm interested in the bigger development of consciousness and what this means to us as a collective, what this means to us as individuals. And as individuals, this means that you have to be aware of what is at stake. What is the part in you that is feeling that way? And instead of lecturing you about this, I want to talk to you about this. So it's very important here that we engage in that, because if we just consume, people like me talking about these things or read articles and we just consume it, we are not really getting the lesson. Because the lesson is to step up into our freedom and to claim it, not by going out and swinging flags or doing war cries, but by becoming totally aware of what it is that we are and what our purpose is here in these times. And then, once that's clear, we can start thinking about what to do with this. Okay, the doing is the secondary part. The being part needs to be answered for us. It's a choice. When I did the forecast for 21, the first sort of resonance that I started 21 with was the courage to make a choice. And that is, guys, what you're feeling in your chest. That courage is being pressured. It's being, I don't want to use the word attack because it's not technically an attack. It is something crushing it. And your job is to learn how to expand it. Okay, so yes, there is a resistance, and that resistance is coming in from the outside. But your job is to recognize how to break through that, how to stay calm, how to stay in your center, and how to breathe through that, and then to translate that into your everyday being, into your embodiment. So what it is that you're experiencing on a physiological level is your third chakra, your solar plexus, being triggered. And due to the core fears that are being triggered, you are beginning to clamp in on your own freedom. So it's a two-way street, and that crushes your heart chakra, that crushes the center of all your energetic processes. In other words, it cuts you down in your life force. And we can feel this physically in our chest, because this is actually affecting our organs if we are not stepping out into action, if we are not embodying this free soul self that we all are. So the courage that is needed is to stand in for us being more than just a bunch of cells and DNA, that we are a soul self that makes us a spiritual being first and foremost, and that the body that we have that is currently attacked, or so it seems, with viruses or bacteria or all kinds of weird syndromes, that is something that focuses us on the materialistic aspect of us, namely the 3D, the body being sort of like a machine. And this is what you need to understand. We are not a machine. You are not a machine. You're not here to function. You are here to recognize your role in the whole, and that is to become this liberated soul self that you already are in 3D. And with every one of us individually who does that, and we'll practice how to do this here in a few minutes, but with every one of us that does that has the courage to step into that kind of attitude and say, I am a soul self, okay, and I happen to have a 3D body because I happen to live here for this, 70, 80, 90-year lifespan in 3D. To bring this into 3D. And the pain that we're experiencing here is related to that. And you can even go as far as saying that the whole corona situation is related to that, because it is basically the physical manifestation of it. Because that's exactly what some of these syndromes that come with the COVID infection what are happening. On a cellular level, it's more complex, and I've talked about this in length last year, how virus codes can also be seen as excretions from us. So the more we get pulled into this machinistic, materialistic way of thinking, I'm not saying material, I'm saying materialistic. It's important to discern the difference here. Seeing ourselves as a cog in a machine is what reduces your being. And this is what our energy centers register. They feel that. Our energy centers are not supposed to act or operate in that way. So if you see yourself just as a cog in a machine, your chest is going to do that because your energy centers get crushed and your life force cannot optimally flow so that you become able to express that. That's basically how you can look at this condition from an energetic point of view. How we started out in our discussion, if you feel that as almost like your default feeling in the chest, where you feel like you're breathing against something, then understand now that what that is not necessarily a physical condition. It can be, but even the physical condition is something that can be breathed through, okay? Yeah. So even if you feel restriction in your breathing, the way past it is through. Yeah, you have to learn to stay calm, because what happens when that fear gets triggered, when you feel short breathed, is that you take even more and shallower breaths. And that makes that condition worse. So we have to learn how to stay calm in our center. And here, sort of as a simplified way of calling this, breathing through the heart, you have to learn that when your breathing is restricted, your physical breathing, that you still have another form of breathing available to you. You can breathe through the heart, and that can get you through the 1 to 6 seconds that you need to center your energy and to get back to your full capacity. That's what breathing through the heart means. It's like realizing on which level something is actually taking place, and sometimes remembering that you have another way to breathe. And that other way helps you past this physiological effect that is triggered in your body when you get hit with a cognitive dissonance or a stressful moment, okay? And just let go of the resistance and breathe through your heart even without taking an inhale, because you can. It only takes roughly 6 seconds. You can do this. So this is what I would like to invite you all to practice, and to see this breathing through the heart as more than just a belly breathing technique. That's why I call it I am breathing, because if you build that muscle memory where you literally arrive in your center with your all that you are, with your spiritual self, you recognize that that part of you exists. It exists with your body, not without your body, but it exists decoupled from it. You just need to remember that. Can you guys connect with what I just said? That was a very, very important tip for you. How to breathe through things. Okay? Even when you feel restricted in your breathing or you have a coughing attack. That is a technique that allows you to activate a part of your nervous system that can immediately open up your chest again. So it's all interconnected. It's not just the body. It's not just our mind, and it's not just our feeling. It's all of it together, guys. And this is how you bring this together, through your sacred heart. And that's the pain that we're experiencing right now. The cold, the coldness there because we forget to go there. Appreciate that more in you, and it will work for you. It will play out in your body, it will play out in your life, it will play out in your finances, it will play out in your way of seeing the world and the future. Okay, everyone. See you next Friday for the energy tips and another energy talk with energy meditation. And share these links, guys. This is so much bigger than all of us as individuals, okay? I've been seeing this for 10 years, what this can do for people. Always remember that, okay? You don't have to convince them of anything, and it's not woo-woo. This is hands-on surviving our current collective conditions.